So let's start with the comma. Full stop indicates the end of a sentence. If you put a full stop after a phrase, like if I say two separate items in a series and I put a full stop over there, that's not a sentence. So it's put at the end of the sentence. That's where we put the full stop. Full stop is also used when we have the time AM, PM, we have to write and we put a full stop. Full stop is also used when you have the abbreviations. If I say VIP, so V, then that dot is there, period, V, period, I, period, P, period. It's also called period. So that's where full stop is used, the period. Now, when do we use a comma? Comma is used to separate items in a series, 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Germany, France, and Italy are in Europe. And see, we place a full stop after the sentence. Now let's look at the capital letters also. So we've started G, Germany, capital G, France with capital F, and Italy with capital I. So you start the names of places, names of people, names of the days of the week, the month, some titles with capital letters. Even the pronoun I, if I say I am, right? I am Sunita. I'm Sunita Kadian. If I put that, then I should be capital, S of my name should be capital, K of my surname should be capital. So to join two complete thoughts, when you join two complete thoughts, that means two independent clauses with a conjunction. Without a conjunction, comma does not join. This is what we saw in yesterday's class also. I shared with you. So the weather is pleasant. If I do not use the conjunction over here, but, and if I just say the weather is pleasant, it might rain heavily in the evening. Wrong, grammatically wrong sentence. We need to add a conjunction over here, but. And then to set off introductory or non-essential information. Introductory means before the subject. Here the subject is I. If you add any phrase before the subject, in the morning, in the evening, tomorrow, yesterday, nowadays, however, moreover, anything that comes before the subject, you must place a comma after it. So on my way to office, comma, I ran into an old colleague. So far clear about comma?
Yes, ma'am.
Capital letter, full stop. Now semicolon. I'm just bringing in semicolon in between. This sentence, suppose there is no but. If you do not use the conjunction, then in that case, you will use a semicolon and then you say the weather is pleasant, semicolon, it might rain heavily in the evening. Another is put a comma and put the conjunction. But just by putting the comma, if you wish to connect these, then that will be grammatically incorrect, right? So this is what we call run-on. These are run-ons or comma splices, comma splice. So this is sometimes the students avoid putting anything. The weather is pleasant, it might rain heavily in the evening. This is a run-on sentence. Wrong. Comma splice, again, you're putting just a comma. Wrong. So you should put a conjunction over here, or you can put a semicolon and continue with it, add it. So how do we correct run-ons? Because mistakes related to comma are the most common ones and are responsible for your grammatical mistakes. So how do we correct the run-ons or the comma splices? One is use a full stop and a capital letter, like the weather is pleasant, put a full stop. Then next sentence starts, it might rain heavily in the evening, right? Or you use a comma with a coordinating conjunction, comma, and then you put the coordinating conjunction but. Or you use a semicolon. I just shared this with you all. You put a semicolon and then you start, it might rain heavily in the evening. Or use subordination, change the structure of the sentence Although the weather is pleasant, comma, it might rain heavily in the evening. So with a comma, you can connect them only if you use a subordinating conjunction. Although the weather is pleasant, comma. Do you notice now how you can avoid that mistake which you usually make? Most of us make if we are not careful. You can make notes, please note it down. These are the ways you can avoid run-ons or comma splices. So we do not run into the second sentence without a proper punctuation. Just remember this. Can I see the others joined the class at 4? Disha joined it now. Without any comma, wrong. With a comma, wrong. But comma and a conjunction, but correct. Or a semicolon in between, correct. Or I say, although the others joined the class at 4 p.m., Disha joined it just now. First line, do you notice any mistake?
There should be an and American. The first letter A should be capital in both the words.
Okay. So this A should be capital. This
And
A should be capital then.
Ma'am, I guess it is correct because it is a run-on sentence and the person which is admitted and there is comma.
You feel rest of it is correct. Let me ask.
So then there will be no comma there, I think.
You think there will be no comma here?
Ma'am, I think there should be a comma after an American couple.
Why there should be a comma? Because you've got some additional information, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which may not be necessary to understand the meaning of the sentence. So who allegedly gave the slip to police after being admitted to the coronavirus isolation ward of the Medical College Hospital in Alpuzar. So this is the name of a place. So this also should start with a capital A. So this comma goes with this comma, right? You place a comma here and then a comma here. So this is all additional information about, so sentences, an American couple who were traced to Kochi airport and placed under observation, right? Simple sentence. An American couple, couple can be plural and singular subject both. An American couple were traced to Kochi airport and placed under observation, sentence. In between, we've got all this clutter to describe the couple. There's a clause in between to describe the couple. Which couple?
America.
This American couple. Have you understood, all of you?
Yes.
Kochi airport, should K be capital or small k?
Ma'am, capital.
This K should be capital. Is it capital? No, this is small. Is it clear to everybody? Understood? Let's
Yes, ma'am.
move on to the second sentence. This time, let's start with you, Parth.
Yes, ma'am. As it is started new line, B should be capital.
Okay, B
but
should be capital. Fine. Then
and there should be before and after comma in the word fortunately.
so when you add such words, fortunately, however, moreover, whatever words, these adverbs are, when you put them in between like this, you separate them by putting a comma. Either you start the sentence with fortunately. Such shortcomings are always compensated by. Then you just have to place a comma after the word fortunately, but it has come in between. So you separate it by putting a comma, right? Okay, anything else?
And ma'am, the word adults, that there should be before S.
No, if you put before S, then that means we are talking about one adult. But here we are talking about all adults.
Okay, then it should no comma there.
There's no comma. This is apostrophe.
That's apostrophe, yes. That should be no apostrophe there.
Why? We require apostrophe. Whose?
But
Adults.
It's after any word.
Yes, of course. Aren't you aware of it? Suppose I say, let me give you an example. If you've stayed in a hostel, there's a girls' hostel. So I cannot say girls' hostel. It is not of one girl. So this is wrong. This is not a girls' hostel. It's a girls' hostel. That's meant for girls. The apostrophe should come after S. Similarly, boys' hostel. It should come after S. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So adults, we're talking about all adults. So adults contribution. So this is correct.
Yes, ma'am. Then rest is fine till contribution.
Rest is fine. Does anyone else see any mistake over here?
It should be contribution.
Why? Maybe they've got more contributions.
But adults is already plural.
So adults contributions. We are not talking about one contribution of all adults,
Okay.
right? Like advantages of the contributions of young adults. We can rephrase it like that also. Okay, Ritika, let's continue with you. The next sentence. Yes, go ahead.
H should be capital.
H should be capital. Okay.
And there should be a comma after hundreds of climbers.
Why should there be a comma of hundreds of climbers?
Because
Reason.
100 of climbers flock each other. Okay, there's a comma after Nepal. N should be capital of Nepal.
So here there should not be any comma because hundreds of climbers is the subject and
Yes.
flock is the verb for it. So
Yes.
Nepal N should be capital. All right. Then
Ma'am, Mount Everest, M and E should be capital. Himalayan, H should be capital.
M and E should be capital. Himalayan H should be capital. Okay. What else?
Ma'am, after season, there should be a comma because there's an additional information that begins around March and ends in June.
Where is it?
Last line.
During the spring season no, there should not be a comma. Because
Okay.
when you add the information using the word that, we do not place a comma after it. That means this information is needed to understand the meaning of the sentence. Okay.
Okay.
So no comma before that. We place a comma before which, but not before that. Anything else? Anybody else? Gungun? Dhruvil, you are there now again.
Ma'am,
Yes,
there must be a apostrophe with the words. World.
Yes, absolutely right. Good. We require apostrophe over here. Good, Disha.
And
Words.
the month name should be in capital M and June.
That has been pointed out earlier. So M should start with a capital letter and June should start with a capital letter. Correct. Good.
And ma'am, after Mount dot, there will be space, I think, before Everest.
Mount Everest. Yeah.
After full stop.
Correct. Absolutely right. Understood? Now imagine if we do not include all the punctuation marks everywhere, then we're going to find it difficult.